Fritz Pollard, 100 years later, first African-American to play for Brown University. All-American, halfback and quarterback, if you will. And he traveled the country. He could not sit with white teammates on the train, had to sit in the back, which he resented very much. As an All-American from Brown, and helped start the NFL, one of the early NFL players, and first African-American coach at that time. Football was, unlike baseball in 1947, basketball in 1950, well on its way in the 20s with the likes of Fritz Pollard. But something happened around 1932. George Marshall from the Redskins, Hallis from Shabazz, and Rooney from Pittsburgh, Sitwell from St. Louis, and Myra from New York got together and they determined blacks should not play in the NFL. For 32 to 45, that's what banned from the NFL, could not play in the NFL. Kenny Washington, All-American, some say perhaps the greatest back they'd ever seen up to that time, couldn't play in the NFL until he was old and somewhat beat up with knees, busted, and all that kind of stuff. Bears won the championship around 1948. Championship game, they made around $18,000. $500,000 a team at that time was considered big money. Blacks were cut out of the foundation of ownership. And so today we're still fighting for a few black coaches. Ownership is almost out the picture. It is so great now. But the likes of Motley and Jim Brown made the NFL that we see today. Thank them for their contribution. In addition to being All-American football player and a quarterback, he led his team to the Rose Bowl. First black player in the Rose Bowl was Pollard. Also, he had the disposition about being an agent. The agent for Paul Robeson and for Lena Horne. He was a Renaissance man, founded a newspaper, was a protester, freedom fighter. We honor him tonight, we honor the best in ourselves. Small one in America does not know much about Fritz Pollard. They should know about him. He represents the best in all of us. Against the odds of racial segregation. At the height of the lynching season was Fritz Pollard and Jack Johnson. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's an All-American, all of America. We thank you, Fritz, for your contribution. We stand on your shoulders, we admire you. Even today, we thank you very much. We owe it to ourselves and to you to keep telling your story and say your name loud. Say Fritz Pollard, say Fritz Pollard. Say it loud and say it proud.